Randy, what happened? I brought the empty one. Use the other ones. Let me check.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Today is Daf Samach Gimel, Maseches Baba Kama. So we started Meruba. So we got to the bottom. So we were talking about. We looked at the Psukim. So we said basically any item one would go ahead and pay kefel. For any lost item, it has to be similar to the items that were listed. Listed 3 animals and a garment. And then, so the Torah says, well, maybe we should limit it to animals that are matame, b'maga matzah, and which would exclude birds because a bird is not. So Gemara says, so we're 3 lines from the bottom of Samach Beis and Beis. It says clothing. So in other words, obviously clothing is not matame. So obviously that's not a prerequisite for one to be kefil for. So Amr say anan bali chaim kamina. No, referring to those that are listed, the live animals maybe. So ema bali chaim davar sheni v'lesa matav b'magamasa im davar sheni v'lesa matav b'magamasa lo. Maybe when we're talking about garments, okay, any garments, but we're talking about animals, maybe only specifically animals that are matame, from touching and carrying. So top of the page, daha kol chad v'chad. So the Gemara says daha chad v'chad kol prat. Right. So he's saying, in other words, in each case, maybe. So we had a klal prat to klal, right? The klal prat to klal it was general, and then it said these items. So really, each one is a klal, and then just a set, and then there's another klal. There's a klal. Chamor, and furthermore, so each one is its own klal prat on its own, and therefore about ofos low. But maybe birds you would not. In other words, since the birds is not included in any of those, it's not similar to any of the animals. It's not specific to those animals. So then maybe it wouldn't. So so they say in Cain nichtav rachmana chat. So if that's the case, if we're only talking about a case we're in Samach Gimel, no. So if we're only talking about a case of where we're going to exclude birds, so why do you need 3 animals to exclude birds, right? Because birds are not matame b'magamasa, right? A set and not 3 animals. All right, shon, bakar, right, and chamor. Actually, no, I was looking at the wrong pasuk. Sure, right? Sure is the first one, right? Yeah. Sure, chamor, set, and salmon, right? So the Gemara says, if you be my birds, you only need 1. What's the salmon? Clothing. Oh, clothing. So, right. So so which one should I write? Sure. If it just wrote sure, havamina, cut of the gam mizbeach, in shen cut of the mizbeach. Low. Maybe I would only think that you only pay kefil on something which is offered in the mizbeach, like a short. But something that's not offered, you would not pay double. Because and if it said donkey, havamina, maybe maybe only that a donkey, right? Firstborn donkey is born with kedusha, so maybe it's only the b'chara in shem kadosh b'chara lo. So therefore, in kain nikla rachmana shor v'chamer. Okay, so write those 2. Said lamali. So why do you have says? So shlamino lasu yafos to include birds that not only just the set, but all types of birds, right, are included. So Samach Gimel. So so maybe you're right, it includes birds, but maybe we're only talking about birds that are similar to set. There are tamid begadim abeis abliya. That those are matami, a person, let's say his clothing, only when it's in his mouth. About ofos tameim, but a non-kosher bird, right? The less tuma, the loy matami begadim abeis abliya low. But maybe birds that are non-kosher bird, right? That which is not matame if one puts in his mouth, is close to not coming matame. So maybe those were not included in kefil. So the Gemara says, so maybe that's the case. So the Gemara says the word kol is ribuihu, right? So the pasuk says, I'm just so I can keep looking at the right pasuk, right? So the pasuk ches, and my eyesight is going. I'm gonna get glasses, right? So it says over there. So it says al kol davar. So the word kol is actually a rebrew. It's not a klal prat to klal. It's actually a ribui in the pasuk. So kol includes everything, all items. So the Gemara says kol ribuihu. The Gemara says I the kohecha the kasav kol ribuihu. And anytime the Torah writes the word kol, it's always darshan in with a ribui miyut and a ribui. Gabi meiser. But it says there about meiser sheni, person has to go ahead and bring his the second meiser to Yerushalayim, eat it there. Let's say it's too much to carry, so go ahead and redeem it in money. Bring your money to Yerushalayim and spend it there. What do you spend it on? So the word says, the word says over there, kol, and we darshan over there, and not a ribui meat, it's rather it's a kaluprat, the panim in a brisa. It says, it says you go ahead and spend the money on that which you desire. That is a cloud, that's general. That which you desire is a general rule. And then it says, bakar, bitson, yai, and shechar, and then it says the animals or drinks or something that comes from wine or liquids that that grow from the ground. So prat, that's specific, those items. That which anything that you want. So therefore it comes back with another klal. So klal prat klal. So therefore, it's a klal prat klal. Yatadan elef prat. Therefore, we only rule it as something which is similar to those specific items that you can spend the money on. And those items, right? We said bakar tzon yain v'shechar ma pramafurish primi pri v'gedulei karka. Just like over there, those are items that come from a seed, i.e., it comes from its mother's seed, or it comes from a seed in the ground. So those items you can go ahead and spend your money on, but you can't go ahead and spend your money on the silver menorah, right, in Yerushalayim, right? You can only spend things that come from a seed. So afko, pri, v'gedulei karka, so do anything that's pri, v'gedulei karka. So you see over there, the word kol is a ribui there. And over here, our case, we want to say is a kol prata klal. So they say, bechol klala. The word bechol, right? It says over there, but it's not cast of bechol. Since the word the bechol, right, that's more inclusive. However, kol is a ribui.
Why, if kol is a ribui, why does it pick those specific four things even to mention? Wouldn't kol contain everything?
So the Gemara is going to address that point. No, in our case, very good. All right. So Gemara says, or v'boy sema. So let's say it is indeed. There's two different cases. And for our case, it's a ribui, and it includes everything you pay kefel. And over there, it was only specific to those things that were mentioned. Primi privik karka or v'boy sema. Kol. The word kol is a kolu. Mihu, nevertheless, kol dehacha. Ribuhu, our case, even though normally it's a klal prat to klal, nevertheless, our case has to be a ribui. Why is that? So let's take a look at it. Ksiv meikara, the pasuk before already has a klal prat to klal. The pasuk says before ki yitein isha reyehu. It says when a man gives his fellow man something to watch over. So when he gives over, that's klal in general. Kesef o kalim. Now all of a sudden it gets specific, right? Money or utensils. Prat, that's specific. Lishmor, to guard, right? To guard anything. Hadar v'chol. So the kilo, it comes back and gives another cloud. So the Gemara says, I'll call dover pesha nami l'klal pratu dasa. Now, so therefore, you already have a klal prat klal. All of a sudden, the next pasuk brings another klal prat klal. Doesn't make sense. Just go on the first one, right? The first one already had when you guard anything kesef o kalim. Why do you need a second klal prat klal? It must be that the second one is not a klal prat klal. Rather, it's a ribui to include everything. Right? So say these individuals by the original pratim. Gabi hech kol prat. I'll call davar pesha lamali. So therefore, why do you have I'll call davar pesha lamali? So the Shami, no, it's a ribui. It's a ribui. The hash the marto called ribui. Now here comes your question. So now that you say that the word kol is a ribui, kol hani prati lamali. Why do you need specific items? Sure, chomor. Why do you need that? Right? Kol is marba. Everything you pay kefil for. So no. Each one is chalam yute karka. One is to exclude land, right? If one steals land, he claims someone else has the land. It's not yours anymore. Sorry about that. No, it excludes that. You don't pay kefil there if he was lying. Or if he stole servants, avadim, the slaves. Or shtaros, we said that comes to exclude shtaros because those are documents. Those documents do not have intrinsic value. And and clothing now refers to something which is specific, right? All clothing can be sort of identified, right? things are identified as opposed to something, an apple or whatever. I don't know about an apple, but something that's maybe not identifiable. Maybe that can't, you don't pay kefil. I'll call a veda. And what does the word I'll call a veda at the end of the pasuk mean? So look at Rabbi Chia bar Abba, like Rabbi Chia bar Abba, Rabbi Chia bar Abba, Rabbi Yechanan, Hatoin, Tainas Ganav. Now we'll come into the second sugi of the day. One who goes ahead and claims that Tainas Ganav. Be veda. So in other words, let's say a person finds a lost object. And it's rumored that I found a lost object. And they say, hey, yo, where's that lost object? I said, it was stolen from me. It was stolen from me. And then it turns out I was lying. Then I do go ahead and pay kefil. Shneimar, as the pasuk says, I'll call a veda after Yaimar. Says there, any aveda. So even an aveda,
that's also
in other words, it was a loss. I wasn't given it to watch it. Rather, it was a lost object. I found it, and then I wanted to keep it, so I claimed it was stolen from me. Right?
Yeah, but it's a lower level. It's not.
I wasn't given, but
because you didn't feel it to
100%.
Later on, you did.
Still, so that's why I need a papa to teach you. Even in that case, you have to pay kefil. You have to pay double, even though it was never given to me, entrusted to me. But I took it, and therefore he has to pay double. Fine. 2 lines from the top. Now, new sugya. Let's see. Tanan Hassam. We learn over there. Top of Samach Gimel Beis. Hey, so Heicham Piguni, guy comes back. Here, come watch my item. He comes back. Okay, where's that item I gave you? Amar Lei, he said, Abba, right? It was lost. All right. The first case, it was lost. He claims it was lost. Mm-hmm. So the guy turns around and says, okay, Mishriachani, right? Swear to me that it was lost. Really lost. Right. So he says, in other words, it wasn't negligence, right? Let's just say, right? Mishriachani. So swear to me, let's say he was a Shamachina. The Amar Amen, he says, Amen. Right, that's how he responds. He says Ve'edim, all of a sudden witnesses come and testify shachlu that he actually ate it. That's why he was lost. But Shalem is a Karen. He only pays Karen in such a case. He just pays the principal. He just pays the principal in that case because he made a claim of it was lost. He didn't make a claim of it was stolen. Okay, that's going to be the difference. All right. So since he said it was lost, as we'll soon see from the pasuk, therefore he only pays the Karen, the principal.
Maybe he's saying because it's a Shomerfina, maybe he's saying it's lost so that he's not much. Maybe he's lying. What? That it's financially to his benefit.
Right, it is, but he could have said it was stolen. If he said it was stolen, either way, or you could say. But if he says it was lost,
he's not going to come out and say that I sold it.
No, but right, but he could say it was stolen. Not stolen. Stolen. Same, yeah. If it was stolen, he's potter, and if it was lost, he's potter. So if he says it was lost, he pays Karen. But let's say he wants to do shuvah. He says, you know what? I lied to you.
But before that, I'm sorry. He made him do shvuah, and he said amen. So he's already mechatchela is lying. He was lying mechatchela after shvuah.
He made a false oath. Correct. We'll soon see. Yeah, we're gonna. Okay. Yeah. So he says. So let's say he says, you know what? After he made the shvuah, he says hoda piyatzma. He says, you know what? I was right. Mishalim Karen v'chaimesh v'yasha. He pays Karen and the Chaimish because that's typically what one does in the case of when he swears falsely about it. So he has to take on a fifth, and he wants to do tshuva, so he brings an asham for his false shvuah.
So that's shaman.
That was case one. Case number two. Hey, Kambigduni Amarlo Nigna. It was stolen. Remember, he doesn't say it was lost. It was stolen. So he said, Mishbeach, and he swear to me. Amar Amen. So he swears. But Eidim, so also witnesses come and testify that it was actually stolen. Right? In other words, that he was the one. So Mishalim Tashumi Kefil. That case, he pays Kefil. He pays double. So if he claims it was lost and he lied about it, just pay the principal. If you say it was stolen and he lied about it, then he pays double. Now, if he admits by himself, Mishalim, once again, he made a false oath. Therefore, Mishalim Karen Chaimish, he would go ahead and pay a Karen and a Chaimish v'yasha.
Is there any way to suss out that a person who's malumed is not going to take advantage of the more kulidic punishments because they already know what the halachic requirements are and not be innocent?
I mean, we have cases. In other words, there's migo, right? A person makes a claim. He could have claimed this. This is a better claim. So we have that. I mean, this right now, the Gemara, it does deal with it. You know, the Gemara does deal with it. But just in this scenario, right? We don't. Both either one would be putter. In other words, either one. So now the Gemara says, "Never says betoin tan is gone. If he claims that it was stolen, Mishalim Tashumi Kefil, he has to pay double. But if he only makes a claim of it was lost, Lo Mishalim Tashumi Kefil, he would not pay double. And the Afila Toin Tan is gone. But even that which we say, when he makes a Toin Tan is gone, if it's only b'shvuah the Mishalim, only if he made the shvuah then he's Mishalim Teshuvah Kefel. About Shalom B'Shvuah, if he just makes the statement that was stolen but never swore, Ein Mishalim Teshuvah Kefel. He does not pay double. So that's the halacha we see in these two brises now, or these two mishnayos. We know how do we know this? So the Tanna Rabbanan, so it says Imimatze Aganav. Now we have two psukim in Shmos Chav Beis. We have pasuk Vav and pasuk Zayin. So one pasuk says, the first pasuk says Imimatze Aganav, right? So the first, I'm just going to read from the side. These are the two psukim. First pasuk says, right? Ki yited isha riyeyu kesef o kelim lishmor. A person gives his friend something to watch. The ganav mi beis ha'ish, and it was stolen from the man. And mi matzah ganav yishalim shnayim. If you find the ganav, then you pay double. You pay double.
Who's paying double?
The ganav.
The gun.
Who's the ganav? We have to see soon. We're at who the ganav is, right? But that's what it says. That's pasuk 8. So now, imi matzah ganav. So this pasuk says imi matzah ganav b'toyin tanas ganav is referring to not an actual ganav. Rather, the ganav here was the guy who claimed the guy who was paid to. He was supposed to watch it. He said it was stolen. He's the ganav, right? So it says every time ganav because of medaber. So is it referring to actually someone's telling his ganav? Or ena ella but ganav atzmo? Maybe we're referring to just the guy was telling the truth. It was stolen, and they found the thief who stole it from the guard, right? Who stole it from the what's it called, the shomer. So the next pasuk says. If they don't find the ganav, so obviously if they don't find the ganav because it was never stolen and he himself had it, right? The next pasuk says beferish b'toyin tanas ganav. So you see that the both psukim are talking b'toyin tanas ganav. Hakas medaber. It's talking about that. And now Tani Idach, even though the Bryce says no, that actually doesn't make sense. Why? So it says the first pasuk says if you find the ganav, who's that referring to? The ganav atzma hakas medaber. That's referring to an actual thief. In other words, the shomer was telling the truth. So there are the Bryce questions. So Atamir about Ganav Atzmo. Is this pasuk, the first pasuk, referring to the Ganav himself? Or maybe it's just referring to they found the thief, meaning that the guy said it was stolen, and it turns out their witnesses came and said the shomer still has it. So the Gemara says, no. The next pasuk, in pasuk Zayin says, Im lo yimatzeh Ganav. If they don't find the Ganav and the shomer had it, then he pays double. Hare, that case over there, pasuk Zayin is Tani Tanas Ganav. Amar, but that's referring to Tanas Ganav. Ha mani mikayim imatza Ganav. If that's the case, right? In other words, pasuk Zayin is referring to when the shomer makes a claim of Geneva. So I need two psukim. So what's the pasuk before talking about? Ha mani mikayim imatza Ganav. If they find the thief, the Ganav atzma kasim adaber. When they actually find the thief. Now, Dekuli Alma Miha. Everyone agrees that the second pasuk is referring to that when the guy makes a claim of, okay, where's my object? And the guy says, oh, sorry, it was stolen. And then, so in such a case, he pays double. So my mashma. So how is it? What's the mashma of the pasuk? So Marabba, it says if they don't find it, because if you look at the pasuk, I'll just read the pasuk on the side. It says Im lo yimatza ganav. The Nikra Balabais El Elohim Imloi Shalach Yadam Blechas Reyeyu. Right? If they don't find the Ganav, right, then the Balabais, right, he takes them to court. What are we taking to court for? Right? Obviously, we're talking about he claimed that it was stolen, right? They didn't find the Ganav because there wasn't a Ganav, because it was really with him throughout the time. So Rava Imloi Matzah Kamashanar, just like the Pasuk was saying, El Shu Atzmo Ganav, right? He himself, the Shomer, was the one who stole it. Yishalim Shnayim. The end of the pasuk says, right, that he says over there is referring to that the next pasuk says that he pays double. When we know in the shvua, and how do you know there has to be a shvua in order, like we stated earlier, at the time of the Bryce, it says v'nikrav balabayis elolim. So it says over there that the balabayis, the owner, approaches the courts. So the shvua. And in order, he takes him to court in order to make the guy make a shvua. It says, Atam el shvua, is it indeed for him to make a shvua? El din, or maybe he's just taking him to din, and the guy doesn't have to make a shvua. So nema sheichas yad lamata, v'nema sheichas yad lamala. So there's another pasuk said where a person makes a shomer makes a shvua, right? If a person is given an object but he doesn't use it, right? So then that alleviates some of his liability. So a person makes a shvua, I did not use it, right? So therefore, just like over there, it was with a shvua, I did not use it. So to over here, it's with a shvua, it was stolen. So therefore, just like over there, so just like over there was shvua, Avkan the shvua. So to over here was the shvua. Now, so we had two different brises. One brise said both psukim are talking about toy and tanas ganav. In other words, when the shomer makes a claim it was stolen. And the second brisa says, no. The first pasuk pasuk is talking about if they find the ganav, he pays kefil. And the second pasuk is if a guy claims, the shomer claims it was stolen, and then really he had it, he pays kefil. So I understand according to the opinion who holds it, the two psukim, according to the Brisa, it says two psukim are talking about two different things. That's why there's two psukim. But if according to the Brisa, it says they're both talking about when the shomer makes the claim of Tony Tanas Ganav, why do you need two psukim? Samri, they said, one to exclude a claim of it was lost. In other words, you need a pasuk to say only if the guy makes a claim it was stolen does he pay kefil. If he just makes a claim it was lost, then he's patur from kefil. He would just pay the keren. The Gemara points out, and therefore excludes that. Okay, so according to the other brisa, which held that one is for the Ganav himself, and the other one is for Tanis Ganav. So if there's no extra pasuk, so how do you know to exclude that if the shomer makes the claim it was lost and then he got busted, that he doesn't pay kefil minale? So miganav haganav, right? It says the extra hey in the word ganav, right? It says imleimatze haganav, right? The hey. So the hey comes to exclude only this case when he makes a claim it was stolen versus a claim it was lost. Okay, so now we got to bring it back to the other opinion. So according to the other opinion, it says, okay, we're using the two psukim for Tanis Gav, and one of them is why do you have two? Because the lay Tanis of it, and one of them, the reason why I do it twice is to exclude Tanis of it. So Ganav Haganav my Darshibe. So what do you do with the extra hey in the word Haganav, right? I was actually anticipating the Gemara says the hey lo darshi. So oftentimes the Gemara does that. But the other shita doesn't darshan the hey, and therefore everyone's on the same page. But it doesn't say that. So Amnacha mi boilek l'Rabbi Chia bar Abba. Actually, we need it for Rabbi Chia bar Abba. Rabbi Yechanan. But that which Rabbi Chia bar Abba said in the name of Rabbi Yechanan. Rabbi Chia bar Abba. Rabbi Yechanan. Hatoin tainas gana b'pikadon. One of goes that makes a claim of that it was stolen with something that was deposited with him. Nishalim tashlim kefel. He has to pay kefel. And tavach u'machar, and if he goes ahead and he shechs it and then sells the meat, not only do you pay kefel, but if it's a case of it was like a sheep and he slaughtered and sold the meat, you pay 4 times the amount. And if it was a bull, he would go ahead and shechted it and sold the meat, you pay 5 times the amount. So that also applies in the case of one who makes a claim of Tainus Ganav and not just the case of Geneva.
It's forced to come to base because there's no Ganav found. If prior to using, I think we use Shem Hashem in the shul, no?
Over here, Shua Daraban.
So
it's not Shua Daraisa here.
Is it the chayav that he has to or out of fear of embarrassing himself, basically he fests?
Well, he would have to he would have to pay that.
I'm saying, but if he fests for sure, then it doesn't.
Then he would not. He would just pay the Karen. You would replace it. Well, okay, now working back the other way. So according to the opinion, it says there's each pasuk is talking about something else. One's the actual ganav. The other's talking about a person makes a claim it was stolen. The high ganav haganav, and the extra hey of ganav haganav is used to exclude that when the shomer makes a claim it was lost. So this halacha of arba v'chamisha of the Rebbe Chia bar Abba minali. So how do you know that? Since it's written by itself in the pasuk, therefore we assume that the Geneva is wherever kefil applies. So too arba v'chamisha ve'ema shivin al hakesha, and we don't ask. Says, oh, maybe that arba v'chamisha shouldn't apply here, and only kefil should apply. We're not ema shivin al hakesha. So according to one who says to the Masuga wasn't about a Ganav, was talking about Tainas when there's a claim of Ganav, it works out well. Elamad Yamar Tavai between Tainas Ganav, so Ganav Atzmo, Minole. So how do you know, in fact, that a person who stole it is Chayiv Kefil? Maybe the only time a person is Chayiv to pay double is when he makes a claim it was stolen, and then he got busted in lying, and then he pays double. How do you know actual Ganav? I just go ahead and steal something that to do with the Shomer. I have to pay double. So the Gemara says, in other words, if the Tainas Ganav, right? In other words, make it a kavachimer. If a claim where I claim it was stolen, right? And it turns out I was the one who stole it, I have to pay double. So certainly when one who steals it should have to pay double. So the Gemara says, if you learn out from there, then Dayalav Amina did. He has Kanidon. then you could only learn that which you learn out from. And what do we learn out from? Mahal olam b'shvua, just like we said earlier. The only time a shomer pays kefil is when he makes a shvua that it was stolen. So maybe in a case of a ganav, also, if I go ahead and just steal from someone's house and I got busted by the cops or by the video or by Ring, whatever it is, all right, maybe I don't pay kefil there, because if I learn from the case of shomer, when he makes a claim of geneva, so over there was with a shvua, so too, I never made a shvua, I stole it. Yeah, you busted me, so here's the money back. So you should only learn from there. So malom b'shvua, afkam b'shvua. So the Gemara says, so nafkale midatani devei chizkiya. We actually know, we learn out the halacha of a ganav that he doesn't need to make a shua from the brisa of the Bechizkiya, and now it goes into longer brisa, and so with that we'll do that mitzvah tomorrow morning. So everyone have a wonderful.